Hi traders, this is Thiago and welcome to Bull or Bear Futures channel. Today I'm gonna carry out another live transmission where my objective here is to share my thoughts about order flow mixing with technical analysis that I understand that gives the trader a competitive edge. We are living tough days. I think for the traders at least for me, this market indecision is a bit make things a bit complicated, especially the first hour and a half of the session that have been really messy, volatile, and so it becomes even important to make our assessments, our pre-market studies. So as usual, I'm just going to put this on my screen here. Okay, so let's come to it. I'm actually passing here, starting at the daily chart. We're seeing that for 5 sessions, we are trading close to the 200 days exponential moving average. This is actually an important region. We have here in green the simple moving average and orange the exponential one. I think I missed it. I mentioned it's the simple here. Is the five session yesterday that prices struggled around it, and this is actually an important region to be defended. Obviously, market take this as the long-term reference for a trend, okay? And we see here also this midterm uptrend line, this green one, and this long-term downtrend line from January 22nd. We're seeing that we are below both of them. Now this uptrend that was a support now works as a resistance, and now and we also have this red one that is actually resistance. So we're struggling here. It's been usual to happen in such an important regions. We see here in this Fibonacci at 38.22. We were in a downtrend. We had lots of tries to break it, but all of them or it didn't was successful, and then price moved upwards again. We don't know what could happen here, but what we're seeing is that prices are actually trading. We're seeing a bearish pressure, and we are below those lines. So I understand that below here the 39.45, it could be a clear weakness signal, so we could see prices speeding up downwards towards the 39.15, 39.00, 3900 here, down here. So let's see what's gonna happen. Volatility was also at the pre-market, the extended trading hours and overnight session. Yesterday, in the end of session, we had a market tanked after in the end of the session and opened with in a bearish mood as well. But at some point, it reversed and moved upwards, overcame the value area low, overcame also the pivot point, and then now around 1 hour ago, it sunk again. It's dropping again. The important region of 3980 have been lost this morning in the last hour. We're trading around 3960. 3965 is an important point, and let's see the 60 here. Trading below this, we could say we would have. We have here the 65 that was yesterday's low and was previously an important region. Below this, we could say I will be looking at the 3960. Pivot point support one is right at 39.59. So the 60, that was a point that I've had previously noted, has its representativeness increased with this 59 here. And then 50 to 52, that's also an important region. It's been important for several times. And then this one, I think that in my perspective, in my point of view, I think that it would be the one I would be looking at in terms of the continuity of the fall, because 46, I guess, was last week's low. And we have the 44 that was pretty important, this 42 that is currently the support too. And then I think that we should this is, I think that maybe a strong defense, buying defense we could see here, and at the same time, in the case of sellers succeeding in losing this, in push price below this, I think that we could see the speed up of the movement towards the 3900. Okay, considering that before we have 39, 27, and 15 that could offer some support. Let's see. Let's come. It started 2 minutes ago. Let's see what's happening here. Yesterday I've made I've made I forgot mentioning at the beginning, but I'm intended to till March 9th. I intend to make this daily this transmissions that I used to do weekly. I intend to make on a daily basis these 2 weeks, and then maybe in mid of March launched a Zoom transmission from Monday to Thursday that I was supposed to have done before. But so in this daily transmission, we keep get closer and discuss the concepts and market moves. Okay, yesterday we've seen for the first half an hour or 45 minutes, it was actually hard to find something. It was hard to identify. I like using, if you follow me, you see that I like using the volumetric bars to identify regions. Also this volume at price here at Superdome. But yesterday it was kind of crazy. It was difficult to define regions, to find regions, markets oscillating, shaking up and down. And it's been difficult to get any info. I think that in this latest condition, market conditions, we should be even more careful, because it's been, I'm not sure if for all the traders, but for my style, for my perspective, it's been hard to, and I think that for maybe for most of us, it's been hard to find clear opportunities. We're seeing candles with, we are seeing, I like seeing the 15 minutes. It gives me a good reference in these terms. We see big candles with big shadows, upper and lower shadows. And this shows me the size of the kind of oscillation, the amplitude. So we are seeing this in a daily basis. Then it's better to, this demands even more impatience from us. We need to always watch out, stay tuned with the economic calendar, since it usually shakes the PMIs, CPIs, PCEs. Its economic figures are always shaking, are always, by the time of release, they are always increasing the volatility, and so we need to watch out. 9:45, I think there is the PMI to be released. we've seen yesterday this kind of the same profile. If we see here, in each price, it prevailed buyers, aggressive orders. Okay, this right column means that buyers were the responsible to make the aggressive orders to close the trade, and we're seeing that they are stronger, they are bigger in all of the levels, practically all of the levels, but they're not succeeding in pushing prices up. Okay, this means that even though they're making efforts, they're making efforts, sellers are also there and also providing liquidity. They're selling, maybe not being able to push price downwards so far at least, but they're providing liquidity and the sellers are not able to push price up. Hi Aaron, how are you doing? Yes, I intend to make this until 9 on a daily basis, tomorrow and Friday, and from Monday to Friday next week. So it will be a pleasure to have you here. Yes, the overnight drop was actually strong. It actually continued the downtrend from the end of the session. That was a huge, crazy pressure. And let's see what's going to happen. Let's see if this session it will be like yesterday. We discussed it yesterday, and so far it seems that it's kind of the same of yesterday, because we've seen lots of buying pressure, but sellers providing liquidity. So let's see. But at the same time, from in 30 minutes, I guess we didn't find anything. This volumetric bars didn't show us anything. But since we have some important points here, some important regions, let's see. Uh, let's see if we'll be able to hold here in the. My points here are the 65, 60, and 50 to 52. Considering that the crucial region for me is the 45 down here, 45 to 42, that we have also where we have also the support too. 60 was one of my points noted, and we're seeing that so far 61 was the one. Lots of absorption. Sellers tried to push downwards, but absorption from 61 to 62.75. So lots of absorptions showing that what's not actually, yeah, 45, 945, there is the PMI. Let's see after it, if things change. Yeah, it's the best statics is to observe. So let's see here. We've seen, for example, the a bit different from yesterday. Here with 10 minutes, I could note an important info for me is that I had noted the support, the potential, the important region 60, and we had this pressure, but absorption. So buyers actually shown that they are they actually defending here. At the same time, let's see upwards. The 65 was yesterday low, and we have the 75 to 77, 74 to 77. We have the close, value area low, previously important region. So succeeding in overcoming here the 70, that is also a point I have noted before. Let's see what's going to if actually overcome the 7. We're seeing kind of an exhaustion here, 700, 435 with zero in the bid. So this is could say a classical signal of exhaustion that usually leads to interesting trades, scalping. Let's see. But I'm not sure if I'm right, but I think that we are ranging. So far, we are ranging from 61 to 69. It's in a tight. Yesterday was a tight range, but it seems today it's a tighter. It's even tighter. Possibly this PMI could give some additional direction. But what we're seeing in this region from 3980, 3960, 80 is also important. The I was mentioning before about I was mentioning about the simple moving average 200 days. So this 3980 for me is relevant, and I think that trading consistently below it is a signal that we could is a weakness signal that buyers are not being able to push price up there. And then if we spend many time here, I think that in the case of returning the selling pressure, it would be possible to test the 45 and maybe even moving down. Yep, I agree, Aaron. Aaron is stating that. Aaron is saying that due to the volume in this range, when deciding the side, even upwards or downwards, tends to give an interesting move. And yes, this is something I'm always looking at. I like this. I'm usually like to trade the ranges, not in these days, as I've been saying, because it's a bit confusing. But I like trading the range, but with such a big range, such not big, but such an intense range. After the breakout, I always try to find some signal that shows me an opportunity to enter favorable to the trend. While ranging, we trade. I trade against the move, but when when breaking, after breaking, I focus on trying to trade the trend. We're moving. Oops, the set 2 minutes. My 2 minutes here is totally late. Um, so let's see. We have here so far. We have the evidence we have is that there was a defense in 3961, 3960. The defense of 3960, we actually seen sellers play the role, putting pressure, and buyers absorb it. But buyers trying to push up, but sellers absorbing. So it's a good beta around here. Let's see after in 1 minute. But maybe at 10 there will be also other data, so more figures. So it's maybe it does not mean that 45 it will be it will have we will have any decision, but it could keep a bit messy until or in ranging in doubt until the other one at 10. But today we are seeing, I always mention about this, the range, it's becoming an interesting range in volume profile. Liquidity reduced, number of contracts in depth of market here reduced. So I like seeing this and waiting at least to return to previous figures. Let's see what it's going to. Let's see if it's going to overcome the 69. I always mention that even if this volatility of this kind of of times with indicators, if the price do not break a region, it seems that the region tend to be actually strong because with such a volatility with few contracts in the book, it's easy to make to have overshoots or to have overreactions. But what we are seeing is that even with the indicator, uh, sellers are still here. Buyers are trying, but they're absorbing. Let's see if it's going to overcome the 69. If so, I would be looking at the 74 to 77. 77 is the value area low here. It's not been easy to overcome the 35. If you see a breakout and then exhaustion there, could be actually a signal that then we could see things moving downwards. There was not actually an exhaustion, but we are seeing that they failed in overcoming the previous high. But considering the pressure, we could see it breaking. But let's see here. I like once in a while I show this my times and sales, this times and sales. We are not seeing there's no big amount of contracts, blocks from or orders from buyers here. Did you see it? Even before the number, both before and after the number. Now maybe a bit more, but it was not that exciting moment. Now we start seeing, I have 50 here and a bit more, but even overcoming the 69, we see that it displaces 2 points and sellers are pushing out, buyers absorb it, but sellers are reinforcing their pressure here. We've seen here many blocks, many selling blocks with such a selling blocks and price didn't move it upwards. It seems that buyers are actually here and we see here what they absorbed, but losing trading below this absorption after failing to move upwards. If we see sellers able to push prices again at the 69, then we could see the continuity of the test, possible test of the other side. But even though with few orders, buyers are insisting here. Buyers are insisting here. But it's kind of the same move we are seeing movement we are seeing recently. We see we had a range here that 10 minutes or almost 15 minutes traded. Then there was the breakout, but prices displaced 2 points, get stuck and struggles a bit, and then move another 2 points. Now it's come, even though there are not big blocks or big buying orders, but now it's succeeded. Let's see. 74 to 77 here. We are almost at the value area low. Yeah, Aaron, it was beautiful. It was interesting. I don't like when get stuck and do not uh, it take a bit to move. I don't like it, but this this absorption here was a clue. Is usually works as a clue for me. When the high of the movement we see this, it does not mean that it will break, but succeeding in not losing it, the likelihood increase. Have you studied week off? No, didn't. No, I didn't. I will, I will, I will do it. Let's see if it's going. Now we are seeing here an absorption. This buying absorption, we have this absorption in 70.25. Now we had this in 74. So when we are in an upward trend, this buying absorption upper levels is a good, usually a good signal of the continuity of the trend. It's usually when goes upwards again, and when I see buying aggressions again above the absorption, I like entering. But as I've said yesterday, recently I'm not comfortable in doing so because we're seeing absorption from everywhere. So here at 74.5, in other condition I could consider in buying, but look here, we are seeing the absorption here in 73, buyers absorbed in 350, but now sellers absorbing in 73.5. So this kind of absorption in a lower level usually leads to or many times leads to a correction, or maybe even a small correction. Let's see if it's going to lose the 70. Let's see if it's going to lose the 70. Not being able to trade below here, and seeing the return of buying pressure could lead to a good scalp as well, or when trending, this many times leads to a good trade to hold a bit longer. But looking at the times and sales, we're seeing that the big orders are still prevailing from seller side. Buyers are buying with more smaller orders, but here we see that we actually reached 70.5. There was an exhaustion here. Let's see here if they will be able to move at least at 75. But failing here at 73 could confirm that sellers are strong, and then we could see the continuity of the correction. See that this price didn't reach this 70.25. There was an exhaustion in 70.50, and then it led to an interesting potential, or the possibility of a scalping of 2-3 points that I wouldn't enter even if I was trading, because currently I'm trying to avoid this kind of, with markets shaking, I'm avoiding this kind of trade. But we're seeing that now 74 is also a point we have noted. 74, 77 is an important region for me. We have the value area low and the close. We are right there. and so it could be expected to see this struggle here. We are in the top of the move. We're close to the highs, but if we spend too much time here, if we spend too much time here, I would say that it would not be interesting for both aspirations. Now we're seeing that we had the 3.5. There was an absorption before, but now buyers are being able to push up of the 3.5. So now there's absorption also above the 3.5. So it seems that it shows that actually buyers are here. They are putting pressure with aggressive orders, but also absorbing when sellers put pressure. So this many times precedes a breakout. We have this big size of absorption here. 3.5 remains important. So we keep seeing this struggle, and considering we are here for 1, 2, 3, 4, around 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes. We're in the top for 10 minutes, and after so many tries, failing there usually could lead to a test in the lower end. Remembering that in 2 minutes we'll have the another PMI. Let's see if after this second economic data, if there will be more relevance in the move, because what we've seen in the first one, we have after 9:45 we have this breakout that was interesting but not that big. It moved interesting for actually 6 points, but after it got ranging. So let's see if this next one will bring additional confidence or additional. We have here this range. I'm always mentioning about the range from 70 to 77, 76. That's exactly the region we've mentioned before. Now sellers putting pressure, but buyers starting observing. Yeah, you're right, Aaron. Here we just touched the 2 minute, the moving average here. Let's see. Remember about the 70 here? It was an important absorption, and this absorption led to the continuity of the move. So if we see here returning above the 71, 75, maybe it could at least return to the range, but it's it's missing only 20 seconds to 20 seconds to the figure, but overcoming it 71.50 could lead to the test to the upper to the up of the range. Well, this one was more crazy. as it could be expected. It was the main PMI. Now we're seeing this one 13 points. It shake it 13 points, but we're seeing that here. Let's see if it will be able to overcome the 70. If it, because case not, it could re-enter. It could start at least trading the previous range. We've seen the beginning of the session 70 to 60 to 70. We're seeing buying pressure, but sellers absorbing here. 67, 68. Let's see our previous 70, 25. But at this time, with such an empty book, it's hard to. We're obviously not doing anything. It can disregard important reference, but I think that I consider that usually reinforce the stronger ones, the previous ones. I would obviously not trading at this time, but when price respect, it's kind of confirmation for me about the representativeness or the importance, relevance of the point we noted. We're seeing that now that's increasing the liquidity contracts in the book. It's suffering to overcome the 71. Remember, right at the point that was the absorption, the huge aggression, selling aggression, buyers absorbed. So let's see the next minutes what's gonna happen. But so far, taking all we've seen till now, we've seen that it's suffering to trade above the 70. Let's see if it will be able to reach again at least the 3.5 here or even the 75. But with many tries, failing after many tries could be the clue for sellers to increase the pressure and make a kind of reversal. Let's see. Let's see here again the 71 if it will keep suffering too. But at the same time, it was not passing there. It's not also been easy to push downwards. So as I've mentioned before, this region, since it's very important to be defended 60 to 80, because below this could increase the selling pressure and maybe trigger the speed up of the fall. The 60 to 80 will be a lot of, we could see actually lots of defense, lot of efforts, because by know that here is it's impossible to say about the right place, but since the 3945 is the key, is crucial, they obviously try to defend before it reaches there, because reaching there would be also, even before eventually losing the 3944, just reaching there would be a signal of weakness. Yeah, let's see. We're seeing that sellers are putting pressure, buyers absorb it, but sellers are succeeding in pushing prices downwards. Up there, we've seen buyers putting pressure, but sellers providing liquidity, so buyers failed in overcoming the 71. Now we are seeing sellers putting pressure with aggressive orders, buyers absorbing, but in an amount not enough to hold. So my reading at this time is that at least this right at this moment sellers are stronger. Let's see here at the 60 if buyers are going to be able to defend and turn back to the range, or if we're going to move downwards, heading towards the 5250. That would be the next region. I think that could get stuck or could offer some support at least. We have the breakout. Now happened what I was telling before. After such many tries, we are in a in bearish moment. Okay, we were in the highs, but with such a big number of tries, failing there many times lead to a reversal and a test. And Aaron just mentioned about to retest the daily low. It just did it. Overnight low was 3955.5, right at the low now here. We had the support one and 60. And what we're seeing here, this is meaningful for me. We've lost the 60 and we have all these buyers tried to defend and we have this big amount of selling absorption. So it's a confirmation for me that sellers are actually strong because buyer defended, tried to defend, absorbed here, tried to defend, but sellers absorbing here. So if buyers fails to push there, trading below here could again push price downwards. Failing to overcome the 60 again could also reinforce this weakness. We have also, I've mentioned about the exhaustion up there. We have also here, you see the 1300, 500, 400, 278. This was an exhaustion. But since we have this absorption here, this would be an previously, this would be an exhaustion. Besides being against the trend, it would be dangerous or risky to trade because this absorption shows that there were sellers actually. So that first one, in normal conditions, I could take advantage, but this one I wouldn't enter, even in a normal condition. Let's see, kind of exhaustion here as well. Failing to re-enter this range could confirm this weakness. In such a situation, when prices re-enter the previous range, I understand as a signal of strength. And if re-entering here, I think that is more likely to head to the other end. But failing to re-enter, failing there, failing before, for me is a weakness signal. And when we see this kind of selling absorption in the lows, is another confirmation. It does not mean that it will continue, that we'll have a breakout, but it's another clue about this selling strength. Sellers showing that they're actually here. Yeah, the pressure. And this, looking at this initial daily candle, This is actually bearish. If you see a close too far from 39.80, this can trigger some a buyer stop, or could change the mood and even increase a bit the selling pressure. Let's see here the 50 to 52. That is my region. All we are seeing the latest 10 minutes is sellers putting pressure. We're seeing that buyers every time is trying to absorb. Look at this in this middle column, this middle volumetric bar. We're seeing that we have lots of contracts in this descent. That means buyers are there, buyers are trying to absorb, but sellers are stronger. Now we have in 53 this absorption here. Let's see if they will be able to remember that 50 to 52 is an important region, so the defense is starting here. Let's see. Let's see. We cannot consider this as an exhaustion so far because it was not the movement was not actually concluded. We're seeing now. Look at here in the low, big blocks or big orders right in the low. This was missing when we were at the highs, but this we are seeing in the lows. For me, this is a we're always trying to get signals or to get feelings, and this is a signal for me that sellers are actually with appetite. Let's see how is the mood till the end of the session. Yesterday we hadn't this kind of decision. Decision is not the word, but we're seeing this strong pressure. Yesterday we didn't have it. Let's see today. Now here I would be looking at this 54. Overcoming and failing could mean that when turning downward, turning back here, it could try a bit more. But considering I'm in a region, I noted 50 to 52, I wouldn't do anything here. I wouldn't make a short. Let's see if even with such a strong pressure, the 3950 will resist. There was an exhaustion right there at this moment. So the signals here was if it were to break 13 contracts or small orders wouldn't be enough. Now we're seeing that they tried here in the 51, but now it was absorbed. So we are having some signals that we could see a defense here and maybe not a reversal, but we could see this time buyers succeeding in defend the important region. But anyway, selling pressure remains huge. Again, here in the 51, let's see if it's going to trade to trade below. But losing here an exhaustion, this absorption here was definitely representative. We see, look, that buyers this time made bought lots of blocks, big blocks. They're now actually putting all their efforts to try to defend. Let's see if they are going to succeed. They were not able to pass the end of the range in the 54. Fading the 55 again would confirm this weakness. Sellers keep pushing, but buyers absorbing. Let's see who will win. If we see this for 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, now we see that they make a bit stronger aggression here. But if we see 3 candles here respecting this region, this could lead to this time could lead to a reversal. But the pressure is still very high. Wow, did you see this? Sellers made a huge aggression and buyers absorb it. Many times it does not mean necessarily that it will reverse, because we don't know how are the weapons or the ammunition both sides have. But in this condition, this is representative. Such absorption shows that buyers are actually there. But when trading below this, being able to trade below could mean that they have done they could have finished their mission, or their contracts could have been finished, and then they could trading below could speed up the drop. We see again that they were not able to push above the end of the range. Let's see this time if they're going to be able to. But look here again, we are seeing that all the efforts are being made by sellers. Buyers are not that with strong shots. Let's see, they reached the 55, but with few contracts. Let's see if they reach here the 56, the 55 to 57, or if it will re-enter here. Here we are seeing a big 2-minute candle, a green candle. So I don't trade the candles, or usually not the patterns, but when I see after such an amount of red candles, this is a kind of signal for me that buyers are actually trying to, they have power. But you see that it failed to overcome, but at the same time it's not moving below the 53. If we see trading around 53 again, we could see prices moving downwards. Now it started struggling in the upper limit of the range, so this could lead to a recovery here, and then after the 56, 57, it could lead to a test of the 60. But we're seeing, look at here again, buyers, sellers absorb it. Sellers absorb it. So now failing the 55 again could speed up the, let's see here. We're seeing buyers trying, but sellers absorbing all the charge here in this region. Yes, Aaron, it's a serious level. Yeah, now we could see after here the fifth after 58 we could maybe see there, but we are seeing lots of, we looking at this third volumetric bar here, there was a huge absorption 57, 725. Yeah, 725. So to have clear signal of the possibility of moving upwards, we should see buyers succeeding in overcoming 58. But they are suffering to even reach there. Sellers absorbing. Looking here at the 2 minute, no, I would say that it was getting stuck here. In a downtrend, it could be complicated, but it now ran. Let's see if to overcome the 58. Overcame, but with few contracts. Let's see if buyers will improve or increase their action. Overcome here, then we could see a test in 68, but anyway, the 62 would be the bottom of the previous range would be hard to pass. We see here this lot of absorption. Returning to 56 could be an we see here we just reached the resistance, the support one that now was a resistance. Buyers defending here, sellers putting pressure, but buyers defending. And so if we reach the fading the 58 again in the drop, 56 could be an opportunity. Yeah, we are seeing, it's another indication unlike seen. We're seeing many times buyers suffering to push 1, 2, 3 points, and when sellers take the lead, they succeed with, it's easier for them to make such a movement. It's easier for them to displace price. We have this absorption here in the 53.75, now absorption 55. That means that buyers are actually trying to defend. Yeah, it seems that this 59 could be actually important to, we have, considering the 60, we have, when we were upwards, we've seen the defense from 61 to 63, sellers putting pressure and lots of absorption from buyers. And now that the support has been lost, what we are seeing is sellers trying to defend below it. So the 60 is showing, actually, we have noted before, and it's confirming its relevance actually. You see here that we reached right the 50. We had that huge absorption at 50. It was not by chance. We knew that 39.50 to 52 could be an important region, and it actually have shown it is. If you take here, we've seen here that the 50 to 52, okay. And let's see at this time if the 60, how it will be in the, how it will be in the 60, or if it's going to reach. But what we are seeing, this absorption here in the 56, absorptions downtrend and absorptions in lower and lower levels could confirm the downtrend. But let's see, for me, now the reference is this 59, that is the end of this selling absorption. Sellers were not able to push again in the 50. This is actually an important info. The 59 was reached, reversed, but failed in reaching the 50. So this means that buyers are actually working. And so if we see overcoming the 59, then we could see maybe a stronger buying move. But sellers are using lots and lots of contracts to absorb, to provide liquidity here, and it's been actually a challenge to, such as it happened up there. Now if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, 2 minutes can 10 minutes, spending 10 minutes in this region after having made this bottom here, many tries in a downtrend, many tries to overcome an important region and failing could lead to resumption of the drop. Could. Let's see what's going to actually happen. Okay, guys, let's stay here. It's 9:10:27. Let's stay together more 3 minutes and see. For example, in this kind of situation, I like it using, sometimes we see a quick move towards the 59, but with few contracts and exhaustion. This is a signal I really like trading. When we see it overcomes in theory an important regions, but with few contracts, have an exhaustion, and then pressure against again, then this is frequently a signal of for good opportunities. But now the intensity, we're moving upwards again, but there's an intensity. Another info I usually look, did you see that point of control is right here? So I don't like trading the region of the point of control, since it was the most traded point. It's obviously lots of interest, and it gets tricky to, or you can get easily stop it. But we see sellers keeping the pressure, but buyers absorbing. At the end of the day, what we could actually see, I'm trying to look at the macro perspective. We're actually, players are actually in doubt. They're not, some are bearish, some bullish, but it's lacking confidence to put pressure for any of the sides. So considering the 50 is important, we could see this region working, and then we could see maybe moving upwards again. It seems that we don't have such a contundent, an important figure to lead to a strong decision that could resume, or could trigger a stronger drop. So in this scenario, it would be, since we reached an important range, we could get range in here, then move upwards again, and it would not be a surprise. Well, 10:30, 1 hour of transmission, 1 hour of session. I'm finishing here. Thanks for watching. Hope it have been supportive. Hope you have enjoyed. And as I mentioned before, tomorrow I will be carrying out another one and Friday as well. So hope you see here. Aaron, thanks for joining every session. Thanks for your comment. It's very good to have you here. If there's an opportunity, leave your like. It helps. It helps the channel. YouTube likes this. And see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Take care, Aaron. Let's see tomorrow how we will make our brief, how we are going to tell about this session. Okay. Have a nice session, man. Thank you.